Hello and welcome to the Tammy Show. Listen, I am so proud and so blessed that you were able to join us today. I'm so happy about it. I guess I get so excited when this camera comes on. I'm like excited because we have an exciting show for you today. And I want to talk to you about a couple of things because there are a lot of things on my mind right now. So one of the things that, I've been talking about is I'm wearing pink, and I've always worn pink all month. And basically pink is the color that I love. And so we're talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're coming up on the end of October, which we should have breast cancer awareness all year long. 365 days. So I'm urging you, please make sure that you get screened. Knowledge, education, and screening are the key. Because, as I talked about last week, African American women have the highest mortality rate, 39% more than white women. And so I want you to make sure that you get tested. Please, will you do that? And let's support our friends and our family members, co-workers, colleagues that have breast cancer, that are survivors of breast cancer, that even families who have lost loved ones to breast cancer. So please, let's keep that in mind and let's pray for everybody. You know how I am. I always say pray for everybody because I'm always praying. All right. So can I count on you to do that? And then this month is also National Domestic Awareness of Violence Month. And so it's National Domestic Violence Month. So when we talk about domestic violence, now right here in South Carolina, there have been many women and a high percentage of women that have lost their lives to domestic violence. There are also men who are victims of domestic violence. So what I need you to do is use the 1-800-799-7233 number. That's the 1-800-799-SAFE. I always say, if you know someone or if you yourself are a victim of domestic violence, please use that number. Okay. So I got a couple of things on my mind. This month has just had me in a place where I said, I need to really talk to you. And so I'm talking to you out there. COVID, wear your mask, social distance. The numbers are going up all over this country. And as you know, we have lost a lot of people, especially in the African American community, to this deadly, deadly disease, this virus. So what I'm urging you to do is stop listening to the politicians. Use your brain, your mind, common sense. Go out there, please. When you go out, step out, have on that mask, please. Please have your mask on. Also, please make sure that you wash your hands and you social distance. Okay? Right here, the numbers are going up. And this is almost a state of emergency. To me, it is, because it's going up all over the country, all over the world. And now the virus has mutated. So what that means is this next strain is worse than the first. I don't have to say any more. I've talked to nurses who've been crying, doctors who've been crying. And then I lost someone who was very dear to me. I called her Aunt Alice. You all know her as Miss Alice of Alice's Restaurant. She passed away because of COVID. All right. So please, let's do what we need to do. And lastly, but not least, this is the main thing that's on my mind: voting. All right. I've been talking about voting for the last few months, ever since the show started in August. We have got to get out and vote. One of the things that I want to talk to you about is that, people think that, vote for the president, but it's the local municipalities that we have to be concerned with as well, because our lives depend on it. We're in a fight now for our democracy. I can't state that anymore. I can't state it enough. It is imperative that we vote. If you have not, please exercise your right to vote. After all, it's about our future. When you put that local politician or even the president in office, guess what? Our future depends on it. And right now, we cannot go through 4 years of what we've gone through. I'm going to take it from my big brother, David Mack, South Carolina State Representative David Mack. David said, this is not about the election day. We are in an election season, quote. So the season is coming to an end. And I'm telling you, I voted for Jamie Harrison, South Carolina. I'm Biden and Harris. Okay. So I need you to do the same thing. Our lives depend on it. Our future depends on it. Okay. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but that's what I wanted to talk with you about today, because it's important that we do it now. Okay. Now is the time. Now. All right. So I hope we can count on you. Get out there and vote. All right. And I hope to see you out there. Take somebody to the polls. Make sure that they're going to vote. If they haven't voted, absentee ballot, you still can do that. Go to the website, www.vote.org. You can still do that today. All right. And you can call the number 1-866-OUR-VOTE, 1-866-687-8683. And you can do that today. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you. All right. Now, we have a wonderful show planned for you. I've been talking about it all week. Rest and relaxation in a pandemic. So in order to do that, there is this wonderful young lady, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying young lady because she's beautiful. And she has a place where you can escape. And then she is in the pandemic in this business. Okay. So listen to what I'm saying. Rest and relaxation. We all need that. So I want to introduce you right now to Miss Ebony Bland. Ebony is the owner of Escape Haven and Company. How are you, Ebony?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Listen, it's wonderful to see somebody young like you doing all these things. And so I want you to kind of tell us a little bit about Ebony Bland.
Okay. Well, I'm 26 years old. I've been a full-time entrepreneur going on 2 years. And it's been an exciting journey. So much has happened just within a small time frame. I'm also a licensed massage therapist going on 4 years. And I run 2 to 3 businesses. I'm well-rounded, but I'm very big on self-care, relaxation. I am a person who always is looking to find a solution anytime I see a problem or anytime I see that there's a need for something within the community. So I really like being able to share my gift and share what I love doing in such an intimate space, because I will consider myself an introvert, but I'm a person who loves one-on-one communication, one-on-one attention. So the fact that I get to do that on an everyday basis is just amazing to me.
Wow. Well, you know, Ebony, you said you're an introvert. I don't think so. Because, you know, people that are introverts would not come on the Tammy show or any other show and really just talk the way you just eloquently articulated your business. So let's talk about this. What was the inspiration, or who was the person that inspired you to be who you are and to do what you're doing now?
Okay. My inspiration, this may seem funny, but I'm a person, like I said, I love fixing things. If it's broken, I want to fix it. So throughout high school, of course, that's the season when you're in internships your senior year. You're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do and what path you want to take. I took the last 2 years to really work with the athletic trainer there and cater to injuries and rehabilitation and things of that sort. That's originally what I went to school for. However, throughout the process, I realized that the part that excited me the most was the hands-on part. If my hands were included, I was on top of the world. So from there, I kind of reared from athletic training into massage therapy, and I'm so glad I did. When it comes to who motivated me, I have to say God. I'm a person, I don't think anything we are or anything we do is just ordinary. I feel like everything you do is what you're called to do, and it's something significant about it. I've always been a person who's been great with my hands, and I've really taken a lot of time to seek God on my gifts and how it is that He wanted me to use those gifts for His kingdom, and just to bring people closer to Him, without just bringing the Bible to their face, but actually providing an atmosphere where they can really experience what relaxation and what peace really should be like.
Wow. So when we talk about that peace, talk about how you create that atmosphere. You talked about, God has placed you in this space, right?
Yes.
Where you are.
Yes.
And you trust Him. You have leaned on Him to do all of this. So is that peace within you, and it exudes into your business of what you're doing now?
It is. Like we say, every day is a new start. So this does not mean that I'm always zen and relaxation. Of course, I have anxiety sometimes because it's a faith walk. So a lot of times if you don't have direction, it can cause you to be chaotic and go through anxiety attacks. But for me, peace is about servitude, if that's what you're called to do. So anytime my clients come, I want them to feel like they're the king and the queen of, even if they only booked 15 minutes with me. If that means I need to carry your person to the room, if I need to greet you with water, that's what I want to do. It's kind of like when you wash Jesus' feet. It's a humbling thing. And that's something that a lot of people don't experience at all until they are sick or bedridden. And I don't want things to get that bad for them to understand what it is to be served, or understand what it is to turn off those things that's not necessary, and just rest. Rest doesn't always mean that you have to go to a spa, even though I am a massage therapist. Rest can be lock yourself in the restroom for 10 minutes and don't answer anybody.
That's right.
It's just whatever works for you. And 10 minutes can help tremendously. And I say this, and it's still something that I'm learning by the day, because I'm like this. So sometimes God has to sit me down and be like, okay, you preach it. Now it's time for you to live it out. Right. So I am transparent enough to say every time you see me, yes, I need to talk to myself as well. And I have people in my life that's like, okay, now you go sit down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. And we all need a village. We all
yes,
have
absolutely.
We all have our village. So let me ask you this: when we talk about the business, you're 26 years old.
Yes.
26 years old. How did you start your business, and when did you decide you wanted to go into business?
Okay. I decided, like I said, I'm a licensed massage therapist. My second year in the field, I had a major neck injury that at that time, they said it could potentially knock me out of the field of massage therapy completely. So that's not something we want to hear, especially when you're new to a certain industry. But in that moment, instead of me going into a panic, it was like, okay, well, how can I still do what I do without being hands-on? But how can I still convey this to the world? How can I still talk about peace? How can I still convey self-care? How can I still convey therapy? And that's kind of where the creation of the candle line came from. So if you go on my site, that's like the first thing you're going to see. You're going to see candles, candles, candles. And that's what God gave me. My main collection, which is always sold out, but you can find in stores, is named after the fruits of the spirit. And each scent was handpicked to mimic what joy should smell like, what goodness should smell like, what peace should smell like. And my mom, she's a very big encourager. So I asked her if she can attach a message or an encouraging word to each of those names, so people aren't just burning it for looks, but when they burn it, it should cause them to sit down or read something that reminds them of what state of mind they should be in. So at my job that I was at previously, before becoming a full-time entrepreneur, I worked my way up from being the first inexperienced therapist to be hired on as a newbie, to being the lead therapist there. I watched my manager. I watched how business was ran, and to the point where I was so comfortable. My manager was out for 2 months due to something medical, and I was able to run the business effortlessly. And at that point, I was just confident that I could do this. And I wanted to do it without me being so overworked. I'm not a person who tells everybody that entrepreneurship is for them, because it is not. It is a lot of hard work. But one of the things I love the most about it is I create my own schedule. If I need to rest, I can rest at any moment. And that's not something that I was able to do with the 9 to 5. It was so hard to take off. It was so hard to go on vacation. You couldn't just call in and say, hey, I'm having a very bad mental day, and expect them to say, okay,
That's right.
So I wanted to be able to give my all without being stressed out or just surviving to get through the day, because your clients can feel that. They can sense when they're just getting a rush service, or they can sense when they're just wanting a number. And I try to have an intimate, I don't want to use the word intimate, but I know something about all my clients, whether it's just something we talked about, whether it's something unique about them, because I feel like every experience should be custom to that person. I hope I answered your question.
You answered that really, really good. I know, because you said you've been in business now for 2 years.
Yes.
Now, the one question that I want to ask you about is being in this pandemic. Okay. How is it for you? And I'm talking about the entrepreneurship side. Okay. How is it for you being an entrepreneur in the pandemic now? Your business, which is about rest, relaxation. What is that like for you at this point?
It's actually amazing. Since the pandemic, of course, a lot of things had to shut down. So a lot of people went through seasons where they were panicking, this, that, and the other. I didn't necessarily panic because I know that God has me. But during this time, people really see how important self-care is. And I have a lot of new clients that come in and they're like, okay, the world is in chaos, and I'm learning that I need to take care of myself. So they're coming willingly. Not just because something is they pulled a muscle or because something major happened, but they're really seeing what big of a change self-care could do. And since the pandemic, and I'm not saying this to put out anybody's business, but a lot of my clients, since we've returned back to work, are leaving out the room even more emotional because they come in so heavy. So when it's time for them to go, they're crying it out, they're releasing. It's like a breath of fresh air. And it doesn't mean that they're coming to get counsel, but they need it. 2020 has been a very abnormal year for so many individuals, and so much has happened back to back. And if, we can deal with one thing at a time, but when it's like something else and then something else and then something else, that can come very overbearing. Even in my personal life, and I'm sure yours as well.
Oh, yes.
So with me being the head of the business, I definitely have to keep my mind in a great space and know how to combat those battles, still take care of myself. Don't ignore it. Take care of it, but still present myself to a place where I can greet people in that peaceful space. So
would you recommend, and I'm glad to say that for you, your business has been amazing. So yes. That tells us a lot. What that says, and next month is all about mental health with me. What that says is that people need a release.
Oh, yeah.
They need the release. So what do you recommend for folks that are saying, I would love to do something like that, but I can't do it? And I guess what I'm getting to the point is, how affordable is it for people now to have these types of this type of therapy?
I look always, anytime somebody asks me about, well, can I afford it? Is it something that I could do on a regular basis? I tell them, don't focus on the word massage, but focus on the word therapy. To me, massage therapy is a necessity. It's just like if you need medication, it's something that you go get. If you need food, it's something that you go get. If you need self-care in your life, it's something that you would adjust your budget for to compensate for. At least that's how I look at it. When it's time for me to get a massage, I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to fit it in my budget. My prices are not extremely crazy, but my team and myself, we do get paid what I believe we're worth because we don't do mediocre services here. And like I tell people, based off of all of the clients that I have, they don't have to come every week. They may start off coming that week. You may see them again the next week just to finish what we started. But at that point, they can go 2 months without seeing me and they're good.
Wow. That is wonderful. So since we're talking about that, I want to move into Escape Haven and Company. So I want people to get a glimpse of what's going on with you. All right. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, I'm ready for that next time.
Yes.
This next therapy. I mean, really, that really just shows me how really comfortable people are and how peaceful it is. So let me talk about this. Now we're talking about the pandemic. I want to go back to that. What protocols do you have to have in place specifically for your business? Because your business is unique in that it's hands-on.
Yes, very.
You're touching skin. You know, so what are those protocols? Because people are going to be saying, "Oh no, child, I'm not going out there." So what do you say to them?
So we, just like every other business should, we follow the CDC guidelines. So for an example, you cannot come into our building without a mask. You cannot leave without a mask. You cannot walk around without a mask. As soon as we greet you at the door. So most of my clients, they'll text me when they arrive. I'll meet them at the door. I'll check their temperature. If they do have a fever, they will have to reschedule and cancel their appointment at that time. If they do not, they're free to come in. As soon as they sit down, they'll wash their hands, go through the client intake form. And from there, as I stated, I keep my mask on, and the room is sanitized in between each client. And thankfully, because I do work with oil, I can see spots. So we don't just flip the sheets. I mop the floor. I wipe the handles where people walk in and out of. I handle all of the transactions myself. So there's not a lot of touching or anything like that. And we haven't had any issues. We haven't had anybody who called and said they got COVID after they left, thankfully. And anybody who thought they were exposed, they told me ahead of time and they canceled their appointment. And there was no penalty for any of those occasions.
Wow, that is fabulous. So when people come in, so I'm just saying because I know somebody's going to be looking and they're going to say, I want to go see Ebony because I need this release. I need this therapy. So when somebody goes in, they have to wait in the car. They call you, you meet them at the door.
Yes.
Now, is it one person at a time or is there social distancing as well in your space?
Yes, we are located here at Grace Salon Suites, and even though we are not the only business here, everybody follows the same measures. So with the type of businesses that we have, typically we only have one client at a time. The only time I will have two clients is if it's a couples massage, and even with that, it took us months before I even gave that an okay because I wanted to make sure that we were still able to maintain the 5 to 6 feet apart throughout the session. Still being cautious and still keeping all of the other precautions in place with doing a couples massage, but we never have just multiple people lingering around. You can't just come and relax in the lounge area at this time, unfortunately. But I still try to make sure that within the time that you book, you enjoyed your experience from the beginning to the end. And then whenever the world reverts back to normal, we'll go back to having like a lounge area so you don't necessarily have to rush out before and after your massage.
Yeah, and my producer, I know she's backstage doing yes, yes, yes. So let's talk about and thank you for that as well, because people want to feel safe. They want to know that they can come to a safe haven. I love the fact that you said Escape Haven and Company.
Yes.
So it's a safe haven.
Yes.
Now I'm going to switch a little bit, because you talked about you have 2 to 3 businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about those other businesses. Let's start with number 2, because number 1 is Escape Haven and Company. So let's talk about number 2.
Okay, well, Escape Haven and Company is the product line.
Okay.
Thankfully, like you said, it's so great to have a village, because I didn't know that I would still be able to maintain massage therapy. So what you all just saw, that was not in the original vision. The spa, that was not in the original plan at all. Mm-hmm. But the people who knew me and who got a massage, I was like, you can't separate the two. You cannot. So Escape Haven and Company is a product line of self-care essentials such as the candles. We also have body butter and other things coming on soon as we expand and as we grow. Hint the company, because it's going to be an extension of so many things that you can purchase for your home to create that safe haven there. The second business is the actual spa. And I'm so glad to say that we've brought on 2 other people within the last 2 weeks. So we are expanding and we're growing so we can be able to do more, so we can be able to accept more appointments and even get into more events, weddings, because the need for it is at an all-time high. And people are always asking me about that. And then the third business, I wouldn't call it a business, but the third thing would be my talk show. And I know that we're going to get into that a little bit later. But everything still fits within the lines of self-care. And that's what I love so much. So work never feels like work. It just feels like a part of my day.
So let's talk about this. Self-care. Yes. I'm going to go back. We're talking about rest and relaxation in the pandemic with Ebony. Escape and Haven. And so I want to find out from you, if someone cannot come to your spa, if they're not able to get there, what recommendations or tips do you have for them during this time? Talking about self-care.
Okay. I know that a lot of people may not be big on baths. Everybody likes to shower, get in and get out. But I always tell my clients a hot Epsom salt bath would do you so much good. And it's not just about relaxation, but for those who works their body a lot on a regular basis. If you sit at a desk a lot, that means that more than likely you have tension within your neck and your shoulders. If you are a person that's on your feet a lot, more than likely your lower back is aching. So if you would take Epsom salt baths, it doesn't have to be every night. I mean, I know some people don't want to sit in the water. So you can take a shower after or before. But if you can do that 3 days out the week, that would help so much, even with the use of a heating pad. Even if you just want to play soft music and fix you something warm to drink, do it. And even if it's only for 15 minutes a day, that's something that you can do every night, every other night. And I promise you, when your body is not stressed out, physically, your body won't be tense. It's to the point where sometimes when I'm massaging, I can tell when somebody has cut something negative out of their life. If they come to me on a regular basis, I can sense how light their body is. I mean, I'm not talking about energy work or Reiki or anything like that. I just mean our body tells us. The same way stress, if you're stressed out and if you keep going, you get sick. So with what I do, and because we understand the human body, when you do those things at home or you take yourself out on a date, or you make somebody else cook for you, or you just make a nice dinner, even if it's steak, crab legs, do that for yourself.
Yes.
It makes you feel so good.
Yes, yes. Well, listen, Ebony,
Yes.
you said something very important that I want to ask you about, and this is about the human body, because you know I'm a microbiologist.
Okay.
That's what I know about anatomy and physiology. What were the requirements for you to become this licensed massage therapist, and did it take a whole lot? Because you do have to know the muscles, the scapular, the the latissimus dorsi,
Yes.
all of that. Now you hear me, right?
Yes.
So what did it take for you to become the licensed massage therapist that you are today?
For me personally, I have my bachelor's in kinesiology. And for those who don't know what that is, that's just pretty much the study of the human body. So that in itself was thankfully just 4 years for me. I didn't have to surpass that. And then after that, I went straight into massage therapy school. So that particular program, because I took the day program, which means that I went more frequently, so I got done quicker. I was done within 8 months, but that particular schooling only covered your certification in massage therapy. You still cannot work until you're licensed. So even after that, after your clinical hours, which I believe was over 100, after schooling, after all of your hands-on, you still have to pass your national state exam. And that's what we call the MBLEX. If you don't pass it, you have to continue to retake it until you pass it. But a lot of people think that we're just rubbing you down and we just learn hand technique, but it is so much more than that. Some people come in there, it's unexpected. So you will know if it's for you because like you said, we talked about anxiety. That's stuff we have to learn about in school. Like if somebody is breaking down on the table, how do you deal with that? You don't tell them to leave. You don't panic. But you have to know how to deal with somebody who has diabetes, how to massage somebody who has high blood pressure, how to massage somebody who's pregnant, because there are certain things that you can and cannot do, which is why I tell people, even when you're trying to do something with your significant other, refrain from massage therapy if you can, because I know of situations where somebody has actually injured the person due to pressing down on the spine an incorrect way and things like that. So it's a very serious field, even though we promote relaxation, but massage therapy in these days is now considered a healthcare profession.
Yeah. And we were talking, as we're talking, I keep telling folks, I've been talking all week about this show because I was excited to have you on the show. Rest and relaxation is so important.
Right.
I mean, because it's a way for you to restore your body. Yes. It's a way for you to restore your soul so that you can continue to do the everyday things that you need to do.
Right.
And right now with the heightened fear, the heightened anxiety, the heightened stress, people are going through. They are really just going through. So I want to thank you for just being who you are at 26 years old. And I keep saying that because really, you have it together. And folks are looking. There may be some young person out there who's looking that says, oh, I want to be like that. I want to do that. So Ebony, let's move forward. We're going to talk about the candles. Now, you mentioned earlier about the candles, the fruit of the spirit, and the candle line. Kind of tell us how you go about that, because now you have your bachelor's in kinesiology. You are a licensed massage therapist, but you have to be some type of mixologist, or you have to have your nostrils and the senses in your nostrils to really put together those scents. How do you do that? And what did you do to get that started? Because candles, I mean,
Candle making is a lot. It's a lot of math and science, which is the two fields I hate the most. Don't ask me how, and it's what I'm in. I'm in science, but that's what candle making consists of. So I know a lot of people have went to the workshops and it's like, oh, I melt the wax, I add the oil, I pour it, and that's it. But no, that's not it. Most of the time when you go to workshops, they already have the specifics on what you need to do, so your candle comes out perfect. But I'm not joking when I say this. I just did a lot of research. Research surpassed YouTube. Thankfully, my dad, he went with me all the way to Pittsburgh to find out about fragrances, to pick out the correct ones, to know what smelled like what. I visit factories. I visit big companies that I aspire to be like one day. And it's just a matter of trial and error. But once I got it, I got it. And because I know how hard it took me to get all of that information, it's not something that I keep to myself, which is now why I'm into education through that particular business. I teach other business owners who are in the field of candle making. I teach people who want to start a candle line, because it's not an easy task. And like I said, it's all about trial and error. And even if you have it, you can slip up in one field, one particular part of it, and they'll throw the entire candle off.
Right, because it's like a recipe. You know,
Yes.
you've got to have a recipe. If you have different essence, yes, the essence that goes into these candles, then I mean, wow, if you got the wrong one, then you'd be like, that's not going to work.
And it's so much bigger than scent. I personally, my line consists of natural soy wax. So it's organic, it's vegan, it's cruelty free. But with that, it actually takes harder to get that strong enough scent to fill up the room, with it being natural versus paraffin and the ones you can find in the store. Your calculations don't have to be as specific for you to get a great candle. So please believe when you see lines promoting themselves as natural and luxury, it is quality.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So let's tell everybody how they can get the candles, because we've been talking about it.
Yes.
So how do they get the candles?
All right. Well, my site is www.escapehavenandco. And that is just to spell it out. Well, it's right there on the screen. Perfect. So it's right there. We are on all social media platforms. So as you know, my name is Ebony Bland. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I have all of my businesses tagged in my bio. So it will forward you directly to the site, where you can find the candles, the classes, soon to be workshops, and the massages on there as well.
All right. And then they can also call you as well, right? So you can order the candles online.
Yes.
Okay.
We do all of our orders online unless we're at an event. But everything is online. But thankfully, if you are local in the Charleston area, we do have local pickups on Thursdays. So you can come pick up your candle at any time and avoid shipping costs.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds like a plan. I guess I got to come on back down to Charleston, get my candle. Because I didn't get a candle before. So so and the producer, you know, she's saying she can't wait to get back. She has to make her next appointment.
Yes.
So I guess she'll call you when we hang up from when we get off.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the one thing that you said that struck me in this whole conversation is your family support.
Yes.
At 26 years old, you have 2-3 businesses, and you said something very important. You said your mother is a part of the business because she helps with the inspirational messages for your candles. Yes. And I love it that you said because I'm a daddy's girl.
Me too.
My father's no longer with us, but I'm a daddy's girl. And you said your father drove you to Pittsburgh.
He didn't drive me, but he took off work to fly with me there.
To fly with you.
And he was patient. And I'm a very indecisive person, but he was patient in my indecisiveness while I was learning. And that meant a lot to me, helped me pay for the hotel, everything.
Wow.
So like I tell people, your foundation is everything. And it requires a lot of investment. So don't look so much on how much you have to pour out, because if you are doing what you are called to do, I promise you it will pay off. But yes, my family has been very, very supportive. And most of the time when I'm doing something new, it doesn't make sense, but it's because of my business is a Christian business. And I just move how God tells me to move. So a lot of times I'll move and I don't understand why I'm moving until after the fact. So pretty much every route throughout my business has been like that. So when I say family is supportive, that means you're about to do what?
Yeah. Family.
You need help with what?
What?
And they may ask, but not once have they ever questioned my ear. And they'll say, okay, and it'll pay off. So that support has been tremendous in my life.
That's a blessing. So now everybody's hearing the good side. Okay, we've talked about that. So I haven't had the opportunity to ask you, and I wanted to ask you,
yes,
what are the challenges that you face, and what kind of mistakes did you make?
Challenges. That's the part I can write a book about. Just within, like I said, I've only been a full entrepreneur and within going on 2 years. Within 2 years, I've experienced 2 fires. So that means inventory destroyed. Have to start over. I've had to relocate. I've had to shut down business during COVID. I've had to pay business expenses with what all I had left. And when you have a business, it's just like having 3 other houses because the expenses doesn't stop. I've gotten sick. And in my field, if you go down, everything else stops because everything I do is hands-on, which is why it's so important to have residual income and income coming in from other areas. I've had people who started helping me and would drop out without question or without any preparation. So like I said, you have to know that you are doing what you're called to do because every day is not sunshine. Even now, I'm still going, but it's consistently another hiccup. Not consistently, but there's going to be hiccups, but that's a part of your story. So I don't look at it as, oh, it's only happening to me. I understand that everything I go through is a part of my story. And sometimes I go through things just to encourage someone else. Recently, I released a fall collection and I worked so hard on the collection, so hard. And the day I was supposed to launch, I think it was so many candles that they fell through the box and so many of them broke. And I came on Facebook with no makeup on, with no, none of this. And I was just like, hey guys, I feel like crying, but this is what it is. And this is what happened. And I don't know why I felt led to do that because I'm not a social media person like that when it comes to personal things. But just in that day alone, so many people for some reason needed to hear that. So I tell people that when you are called to create something, it's not about you. I believe that the bigger my platform grows, it's just because it's more eyes looking to see how God really works. And I have to be sensitive to that in everything that I do because it's not really about me, which is why anytime you see me doing an interview or talking about my business, I always reverence him because
Amen.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because as I talk to people about this journey and how I'm back on the air, it's not easy. Like you say, anything is not easy, and there are a couple of things that are coming around that are happening, and I'm like, okay, God, is this what I'm really supposed to be doing? And sometimes you ask that question, and God will continue to confirm and give you that. I don't want to go before we talk about your talk show because you also are a talk show host.
Yes.
And I hope I'm gonna come on there, but but I'm inviting myself. Okay.
That's fine.
So anyway, we have to support each other. Talk about the talk show and why you started it.
Okay. Well, during quarantine, I took it as a vacation. Some people were going crazy, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's time to rest. But some of my clients were going crazy. A lot of people didn't know what to do with their body. Everybody wanted a massage, and I was not doing a massage. But it really opened my eyes to see, okay, if you cannot physically provide what people are seeking from you, can you still use an outlet to provide them with informational things that they can do at home? And this is how Talks with Ebony B was birthed back in July, I believe. But with this platform, it's something that I can talk to people about. I can tell them about the good and the bad, but it's bigger than entrepreneurship. It's kind of me letting you know that, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to tell you small things that you can do at home. I can tell you how to relieve your lower back pain at home, in your car. And we were talking about affordable things. And like I tell people, you help me help you. So you don't have to wait until a session to get relief. But I really wanted to create that platform to just educate. And you can find us on YouTube. Going on in the future, we will have guests. You will hear about other people's stories. And I just hope that it encourages your mind and is like a reset for you through the course of your life.
As you were talking about that, and you said you started your talk show in July, I started this platform on August the 20th. So,
wow.
Yeah, during the quarantine, the same exact thing, and it's like God spoke to me and I asked him, what am I supposed to be doing? And he said, go back to what you know how to do. Exactly. And this is a different type because now I'm able to have people like you that can tell your story, that can talk about what's going on in your community. And I want to thank you for what you are doing and how you are helping people to heal. Because the more you talk, the more in my spirit, I hear healing. And we're talking about this pandemic and healing the land, and everything that's going on around us. And so I'm looking forward to all that you're doing and having you back on the show, because I know you've got some other things that are really, really happening. Yes. And of course, I'm supporting you and your show and everything that you're doing. And I just really want you just to just be who you are. I mean, you're just so full of energy, and I love it. I love it. And I've learned so much. One of the things that I want to recap is that if people cannot afford to come to you, and I'm not saying they can't, but if they can't afford to come to you, one thing that they can do is they can take a bath. I take baths.
Yeah,
I have
it's
a
amazing.
big old tub. Yes. And I have my candles behind me and everything,
Yes.
And because now I don't drink like I used to, fell on my head a long time ago. So I don't do that. So everybody said, "Oh, I'd have a little wine."
Well, some people like a glass of wine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm just saying that what you shared with us today was very helpful about rest and relaxation.
Yes.
Because we need that. We need what you have and how you have it. And I know that God, after I looked at that video and how I see your hands move through the hair, I've had a lot of massage therapists in my time. And when I tell you that I've never had anyone just kind of they do, they do a little quick something and they come off. But to see how you just moved, that moved me. And so I know that that's how other people are looking at you as well. And I just want to thank you. One of the things, last question, this is another question.
Okay.
So how can, first of all, when we talk about these viewers are looking, I know that they can go on your website. What is it that you want the viewers to take away from this interview?
Okay. Oh, that was a good question. That was a great way to end it. I really want you to take away, and it's something that I tell myself every day, and I want you to read between the lines when I say it, but it's my motto, and it's that it is okay to be selfish. It is okay to be selfish. We talk about self-care. And when I say it is okay to be selfish, I mean that it is okay to take care of yourself. It is okay to make time for yourself. It is okay to say no. It is okay to lock yourself in your car if you just need to breathe. It's okay. I have people that come in sometimes and they say, I'm just coming here to go to sleep. They're getting a massage in the midst of it, but it's okay. It's okay for you to spend money on yourself. And like I said, I'm not here to take your money. If I can't help you, I will let you know and I will send you someplace else. But really, really, it's important to take care of yourself. Don't allow what's going on in the world to stress you out so much that your body starts going downhill. Don't wait until you are so stressed out that it's too late to find relief, because every experience you give yourself that involves self-care should be enjoyable. It should not be something that you just need to get through quick. So yes, it is okay to be selfish. That's what I want to leave everybody with.
I love it. It's okay to be selfish. You know, I had a question that came through. My aunt wanted to know somebody that has medical issues.
Yes.
Is your business set up for doctors to refer people to you?
Yes, doctors can refer. People at this point, people are referring and I don't know who they are. I do not accept insurance at this time. Even though our treatments, we do tailor a lot of people who are in physical therapy, a lot of people who are just coming out of surgery. So I see that on a regular basis, but we do not accept insurance. But I never want you to feel like if you have something going on that you cannot come, because even though it's relaxation and it's luxury, like we stated, it's still medical. I still know how to take care of areas. And even if you're not coming to me, if you're coming to somebody on my team, I'm not sending you to someone who does not know what you are dealing with. If you need to email me, if you need to call me, I have people that do that sometimes. They'll call me beforehand or send an email and say, hey, this is what I have going on. Can you cater to it? Is it something I should hold off on? Should I hold off on coming for a short period of time? And I'm very honest with them. If we can't do it or if they're uncomfortable, I say no, but we've never had that happen, thankfully. And when I tell you there's nothing I haven't seen, so even, and I say this because some people feel like whatever their hindrance is to them, it stops them from coming. Come in a wheelchair. Come, even if you have a certain area that's amputated, it does not stop. I don't turn away anyone. I've worked with so many different things, so many different injuries, so many different post surgeries. So as long as you don't have COVID, as long as you're not sick, like if you have a cold, call, reschedule. But anything that you have that's chronic, you can come.
Wow.
Yes, you can come.
And you know, the one thing that I love your takeaway when you said it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay to be selfish.
It is.
It's okay because it's all about self-care. Yeah. And that's why I thank you so much for being on the show and talking with us. Now, there are a couple other things that I want to talk about. We have a few more minutes.
Okay.
I always ask people, tell us 3 words that describe you. Okay.
I know off top, determined. I won't stop until something is taken care of. I would deem myself as I don't want to use the word solution. I'm a fixer. And I know that may seem weird, but I love fixing things. If there's an issue and if I can fix it, I will. And also the word humble. I don't try to take credit for a lot of things. If there's any way that I could be of help or assistance, I am there. I don't ask for anything in return, but I'm all about helping all of us grow together. And I don't think it's fun if it's just one person going without bringing a team of people up with them.
That's right. That's right. You're a leader. Yeah. You're a leader, and that's about bringing other people together. So when we talk about you're determined, you're fixed, and you said humble, those are those 3 words. I love it because I can see the determination. I haven't been around you to see you fixing anything, but if you said you can fix it, I know you're going to try and fix it. And I can tell that you are a humble type of individual because you give from your heart. I can feel that just from us talking now. Let's tell everybody how they can get the products again.
Okay, as stated before, and I'll show you because I know I didn't show any products, but this is one of our candles. This is from the Fruits of the Spirit line. We are in about 3 different stores, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the stores that we are located in, and you can pick up any of our Fruits of the Spirit candles from there. And recently it is fall, so we released our fall collection a few weeks ago. So this is the raw bourbon wood. This is what you would deem as the 8-ounce candle, is the typical regular size, and the 4-ounce if you just wanted a sampler, or if you wanted to give out gifts. All of our products can be purchased on our website, which is www.escapehavenandco.com. And if you have any questions about the products, if you want to know when something else will be in stock, hint, our body butter, which I need to get back on, is something that sold very well and always stays out of stock. But if you have a question about when we're restocking on a certain product, if you don't see it, just call me or send me an email and let me know. If you are interested in wedding favors, if you are interested in party favors, let me know. Interested in workshops, let me know. I can be all of that and help you in whatever way you need. Oh, and yes, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see that our candle page and our spa page is two different pages. But like I said, if you follow me, Ebony Bland, on Facebook or Instagram, you will see that I have all of the businesses tagged. So if you are not local and you are more interested in the products, follow Escape Haven and Company.
That's right. IG. Yes. We can find you on IG and Facebook.
Yes.
And we are, I tell you what, this has been a great interview.
Yes.
I've loved speaking with you. I love your energy. I mean, my aunt just posted something on in the comments, and she said, I love Ebony's energy.
Oh.
Okay. So listen. Yep, there it is. So you probably gonna see it. Thank you, Auntie Zelda.
Thank you.
Yeah, you probably gonna see her, and I'll bring her down there. So, because she's not in Charleston either, so that we can come down there and and have our session with you for our therapy, because we all need it.
Yes, absolutely.
We all need it, and it's so important for us to relax. Now, do you give away gift certificates?
I do.
Okay.
They actually go very fast.
Okay.
So if you are not local and you want to send something fast, we not only have paper gift certificates, but we also have what you would call e-cards. So it's simply like a gift card that you can send via email, and all the person has to do is show it when they come. So yes, and I don't put an expiration date on my gift certificates because it's a gift. So if somebody is not local and they literally won't make it until the following year, their value does not expire at all. If something comes up, they can just call me and let me know. But that's your gift. And until that person comes, it's just sitting there.
Wow. Well, Ebony, thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Listen, wait for me in the green room, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to visit you after the show. But listen, I enjoyed it. And Escape Haven and Company, thank you so much, Ebony.
Thank you.
And the best to you. Blessings to you.
Thank you.
Many blessings.
Everyone.
Yeah. Love you. Okay. Listen, you just heard from Ebony Bland of Escape Haven and Company. And I mean, when I talk about a young lady that's doing it, she's doing it. So if you can go there, go to www.escapehavenandcompany. Talking about businesses, we're talking about rest and relaxation. Okay, we need this. We need this time. So I want you to keep that in mind. I also want to remind you, I'm not going to let it go. What's it? Vote. Come on now. Our lives depend on this. We are in the fight for our lives. Literally, our lives depend on it. Okay. So I want you to get out, vote, www.vote.org. Next week's show, we have a gentleman who is not in the area. He's from out of town, and he is a licensed therapist. He's a doctor. His name is Dr. James Lassiter. And I wanted to start the month off of November, because we're going into the holiday, talking about that checkup from the neck up. mental health, because we're coming up on the holidays. You know what I've been talking about, COVID. We've lost a lot of people. Breast cancer, we've lost a lot of family members and friends. Diseases, all the diseases, a lot of deaths, pandemic, the whole nine. How do we deal with this? What do we need to do? What are some of the things that we can do? And Ebony just gave us some great tips. So next week, that's what we have. And then I also have a surprise. Mr. Henry Ravenel is stepping in. I'm the ambassador again this year for the Neno Summit, Neno Summit in November. And so he's going to come on and he's going to talk to us. It's Neno Summit Charleston, Next Gen Entrepreneurship, Nonstop Opportunities. It's about your business and leveraging opportunities during this time in the pandemic. So I want you to tune in next week. I want to thank you, viewers, as always. Thank you for tuning into Tammy right here. Your story, your community. I really appreciate it. I'm on every night at 7 p.m. Look forward to seeing you next week. And again, take care of yourselves. But remember, bless someone along the way. Take care now. Bye-bye.